Well, hello traders and welcome back to another video here on the Learn to Trade channel. The first thing I want to do is just to show you what we do here on the VIP, with the VIPs. Yesterday we had this gold sell stop. We had two winning trades and one losing trade, and that's what's important about following our signals. You know, losses are going to happen, but we have a positive win rate, which makes for a long-term profitable trading system. We have this GBP USD short idea, and I'll show you what happened yesterday with the pound yen. This is what happened yesterday with the pound US dollar. Boom, targets were hit for 69 pips. Then we had this gold trade, and I'll show you what happened with gold. Bam. Targets were smashed for 330 pips, and we lost the US dollar Mexican peso right here, boom, for a minus 130 pips, which makes for a positive trading day. And if this doesn't convince you to join the VIP team, well, nothing will, in my opinion, right? But if you do, there's a link below this video where you can join us. It's only 50 or 35 pounds a month. It's nothing. It's just a couple of pints. You make the math if it's going to be a good investment for you. But now we are going to focus on the markets, and we are going to focus on the US dollar. Now, why are we going to focus on the US dollar? Well, we're going to focus on the US dollar because since the later part of last week, we have seen the US dollar surge about 2% from low to high, right? These are the lows on February 25th. That was when? 25th, February 25th. That was on Thursday. So on Thursday, the US dollar printed the lows, right? And from Thursday, we have seen the US dollar just rally and break with a midterm bearish structure, right? So we're going to focus on the 4-hour chart, then we're going to go back to the 1-hour chart. Remember that this is the DXY. So the DXY is not something that we are going to trade, but this gives us a gauge of how strong or how weak the US dollar is. And the importance of knowing the DXY's or the US dollar strength or not is because the US dollar is king, right? The US dollar is king. Why? Because it's the most traded currency, and we are currency traders. So the US dollar has been in a very, very bearish move since the highs back in March 2020. We already know this. Why? Because of how much dollars have been printed since the pandemic. Remember that when the pandemic hit, the markets crashed, and central banks did what they could, and what the only thing that they know how to do to support the markets, and that is injecting liquidity into the economy, right? That happens to have a negative effect on the value of the currency, in this case the US dollar. And fun fact, more than 45% of all US dollars in circulation were printed in the last 12 months. So yeah, that's a lot of US dollars having printed in the last year. We are fundamentally bearish on the US dollar, but this range, this trading range that we are currently in, is of course non-directional. And the thing about this is that when we have a big US dollar move, such as this one started last Thursday, it represents big moves for we in the currency pairs. Just have a look at the euro versus the US dollar. That's a big, hold on, let me grab the tool. That's a big A 255 pip move to the downside. US dollar, Canadian dollar. That's a big move of $277. It's 277 pips. Yeah, I mean, the US dollar, Japanese yen. That's another signal that I sent right there. We close that all the way here. So that's a 192 pip move. So when we manage to pinpoint or really time our entries on the US dollar before these big moves, there's big bucks to be made. Now, what am I expecting here, right? This is the weekly pivot. We're trading way above the weekly pivot. Let's have a look at the monthly. Should be below. Now the monthly should be where it is actually. We are trading above the weekly and monthly pivot. We are bullish. We are bullish. And if we consider this to be a bull flag, the calculated target on the breakout of this flag should be the 161.8 of the flag, right? Everybody knows that. The 161.8 of the flag. So we should, when I calculated target, go all the way to the 92.80 level. So if this is in fact a bull flag from the bottom that we enter here, everything points out at a at a breakout of the 91.60 level, which is this previous level or the previous highs. So we are expecting more upside on the US dollar. We are expecting more upside on the US dollar, and that's the main reason I'm making this video, right? But again, we are trading inside of a very strong range, right? There's a lot of sellers at the highs of the range, and we are fundamentally bearish on the US dollar, right? A relief rally above these highs is going to be tough, right? And we don't know that this is in fact a bull flag since we are inside of a range. And we are not going to be sure about that unless we break with these highs, right? So there's a couple of scenarios that we need to prepare for. For that, we're going to go to the hourly, right? So there's a couple of scenarios that we need to prepare for, right? The first scenario should be, hold on, let me just delete this. The first scenario should be a move back to the weekly lows and the pivot, the weekly pivot, right? You know, there's a lot of you that don't use pivots, but they're insanely useful for, at least for the way that I trade. All right, so a move back to the weekly pivot shouldn't mean that we are going to be bearish. No, this could be a deep buy right before the breakout, and of course the bullish scenario that is a move above those highs that we were talking about. Now, this is yesterday's high, and right now price is testing yesterday's highs, as you can see. If yesterday's highs hold, well, the probability of a rally on this session is higher than a dip. But if yesterday's high break, we could in fact go for a test of this level or all the way down to the weekly pivot. In any case, I am going to keep the VIPs informed on whether we are going to be bearish or bullish on the US dollar today. Remember that this is a session by session analysis, and of course on the Swing Trade channel we do forecast for the next couple of weeks, but that's another channel, and the link is below this video if you want to join. All right, so thank you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.